Lori Reed from Grace Baptist Church in Childersburg joins us this morning. And Lori, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks
Good
for having
to have
me.
you with us today in a big event over in Childersburg Thursday. Talk about it.
Right. So we're going to have our community-wide Thanksgiving meal Thursday morning. It's going to be from 11 to 1, and we're just excited about feeding our community. We'll be serving in the fellowship hall for those that want to come and eat with us, and we also have, we're taking reservations for deliveries. We'll be delivering meals that day also.
How did we get started with this project?
About 4 years ago, there were a group of us who we had really been influenced by what Sylacauga has done here in their community through SAFE of feeding people on Thanksgiving Day. A lot of people give out, they do give the food so people can have their food for those days. They're wonderful ministries in that respect, but we really felt like there was an untapped population that were by themselves on Thanksgiving. So several of us just committed, and our church committed to taking that day and being able to just feed our community.
Now, this takes a lot of effort, a lot of manpower.
It really does, and we could not do it by ourselves. We have the most wonderful congregation who is willing to donate their time, either the day before, the day of, to spend their Thanksgiving Day with us and with members of our community. We have people who cook, people who serve, people who clean up, a lot of delivery people that are able to take those meals out there so people have a hot meal at lunchtime.
Now, this is kind of labor of love from the church, or is this a community event, or what?
It is. Our church really started it, but we welcome everyone to come in and volunteer. Like I'm the counselor at Childersburg High School, so I'm definitely promoting it amongst our students for community service hours. They can come in and volunteer. We sometimes have other people from other churches that just want to give back. But yes, it's been just a devotion from our church. Our church is committed the finances to it. It's part of our offerings, and we budget it every year, and we're just blessed to be able to do that.
You just don't open the doors and tell them to come in. There's a lot of preparation for this. How does that work?
There really is. We set up a number that we start receiving the reservations. We had about a little over 100 confirmed because we got a little late start this year, but we are rolling along. So we're planning for about 300, but we can easily adjust that if we need to once we see reservations come in. And then we do open the doors. We just have meals ready for anyone that might want to come in that day. We also plan on feeding our policemen and our firemen that day. They'll be getting hot meals from us. And one of the biggest blessings is a lot of our members just go around to the service stations and businesses that are open that day and just offer them a hot meal.
Great.
It is, because a lot of people have to spend time away from their family on that day.
Yeah. Well, what's on the menu?
Oh, well, we have smoked turkey breasts, which are delicious. Homemade dressing made by Teresa's Catering and Wedding Cakes. She's one of our church members. She makes the best dressing. Homemade mashed potatoes, rolls, green beans, cranberry sauce, and gravy.
Wow.
And apple pie for dessert. And our apple pies are made by the Main Street Deli at the hospital. So it's a lot of people who contribute to that, and that we get many people involved that are just good at what they do.
Well, let's give the number out and how people can make reservations for the event.
Okay, so the number is 256-861-0940, and they can make a reservation for as many as you need, and we'll bring them to you.
Laura Reed, our guest, she's from Grace Baptist Church and a counselor over at Childersburg High School too. And talk about the church a little bit, and hear so many great things about it. Of course, Brother Frank's a pastor there, and I know you guys love him.
Yes, Frank Thompson, he's our pastor. He is a wonderful leader and shepherd of our church. He just has a servant's heart, and he's a large part of why our church does what it does in the community outreach. Frank's been there for many years. I've been there for 15. I think he's over 20-something years there in our church. We have a little over 300-something members, but we're just, our motto at Grace is just come as you are. And we're so blessed that God has given us this ministry and the resources to be able to do it, because there are a lot of hurting people in our community. A lot of folks that have lost loved ones this year. They're sick, they're shut in, and they just need to know that Jesus loves them, especially, and that we love them, and we're just grateful to be able to serve in some way, some small capacity.
Now, the volunteers, whether they're in the church or outside the church, they're giving up their Thanksgiving Day, basically.
They are. A lot of us we just say, you know what, this is more important. And what'll happen is the workers who are there, what we'll do once we get through cleaning up around 1:30, we bring extra food and we just sit down and we have a meal together. It's very special. I think we look forward to that, and anyone that's there is welcome to stay and have a meal with us, just to fellowship and just thank God for what He's given us.
What time do we start on Thursday?
We'll start serving at 11 o'clock from the fellowship hall. We'll start deliveries around 10:30. We'll get there at 8 to start working and putting food together if anybody wanted to come early and give a few hours in the morning so that they can have Thanksgiving with their family. But at 11 o'clock, the doors open and we'll be ready to serve anyone that needs it.
You just go in the main entrance there, and it's there on the right, isn't it?
Main entrance there on the right. It's easy to find. Yes.
Now, is there a cutoff for reservations, or can people just walk up, or?
Just walk up, and we'll serve until it's gone, and when it's gone, we'll pull out more if we can find it, and keep feeding our community. So
that's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Lori Reed, who is a part of Grace Baptist Church, and their free community-wide Thanksgiving meal from 11 to 1 Thanksgiving Day. Church located conveniently at 1299 15th Avenue Southwest in Childersburg. Lori, what does Thanksgiving mean to you personally?
Thanksgiving, to me, it's just a time to especially slow down. Start thinking about how much God has blessed us. We're so blessed, and we have so much. And I think that's what pricked our hearts to begin with, is my children never have to worry if they're going to have a meal every night. They never have to worry if they're going to have clean clothes every day. But there are numerous families out there where that's a real challenge for them. If there's even going to be food in the cabinet. And so we just realize how blessed we are, and Thanksgiving is so important, just to stop and say thank you, God, for all that you've given us, because you've just given us so much.
We've been doing this 4 years now.
Yes.
Is there a story or two that you can share that just pop up in your mind and say, wow, this is worth it right here?
I'm probably going to cry, so forgive me. The first year we did it, we had it at the Community Rec Center because we thought maybe a neutral location might be better for people, because sometimes people feel intimidated coming to church. We may try to make them stay, So we did it there. We had some good response. Of course, we realized we had to move the entire kitchen there. So now we've got it back at the church where it's more convenient. But that first year, we didn't know what to expect. So when we didn't have a huge group of people come in, we basically started just filling plates, wrapping them, and we just sent cars out to the community. That's how we realized that delivery was very needed. And our people would come back, and they would just come back with tears in their eyes, and they would say, you wouldn't believe who I just met. I just met this family, and they were so sweet, and they were so grateful, and they just need love, and they need to be loved on. And our people would just come back, and they were just amazed. We live in that community. We shop in that community, but there are places probably we don't always associate with the same people, and that's just the way life is. It takes us in different directions. And I think we all saw people that really need just to know that we love them, and that's been a huge deal. The people they meet that just say, thank you so much for coming and seeing me today.
And really, this is not a hook in the jaw deal for Grace Baptist Church. We're trying to serve the community.
Absolutely not. We'll give you a little information just about the church if you need it. We will give you information about how much the Lord loves you. There's always a message of salvation, because that's the most important part. Not just we're going to feed your body, but there's something more important to feed your soul forever. And that's our message we want to get out there, that we're grateful. We're grateful that God gave us this opportunity to do this. If you want to come to Grace, we will love to have you, and we'll just love all over you. But we thank you for that.
Lori Reed, who is a part of Grace Baptist Church in Childersburg, and free community-wide Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving Day from 11 until 1 at Grace Baptist Church, 1299 15th Avenue Southwest in Childersburg. And Lori, go ahead and give them the number again, and tell them what they need to do to be involved in the event Thursday.
Okay, so the number is 256-861-0940. Call that number, make a reservation, just leave a voicemail. Give us directions to your home, specific street directions, and how many meals you'll need that day. And if you just want to volunteer, just show up. We'll put you to work at some point. We'll be there about 5:30 Wednesday night, setting up and doing some prep work. So if anybody says, hey, I can't come Thursday because I've got all these things in play, you can come Wednesday night. If nothing else, we're going to pray over this ministry, because that's the most important part. This is a ministry. And so just call that number, and we'll bring you a nice meal, or just show up that morning.
About 300 or so folks?
About 300 or so folks. And if everyone someone calls in today and we see that number spike up, we'll order more food. There will be plenty. So.
And I know you want to, as we close, take the opportunity to thank the people who are involved in it, the boots on the ground sort of folks who make it all happen.
Exactly, and I wish I could name them all, but for sure there is a great core group of people that are going to be working on this today and this week. And the reason we thought we might not have it is of the 4 of us that sort of started it, 3 of them had new babies this year.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't me. So I was concerned that maybe they were going to be too overwhelmed. We thought, well, maybe not this year. We'll pick it back up. But they were so insistent. We're going to make it work. And so we're just very grateful for them and just for the numerous people that are giving money just on Sunday mornings, a few dollars just to make sure we're not without for this day. So there are just tons of people that are involved in this.
Well, missions begin at home.
Yes, sir.
And certainly this is your Jerusalem in the Childersburg area.
Yes, sir.
And so we look forward to being a part of that. Lori Reed from Grace Baptist Church in Childersburg. That number again to reserve your meal, 256-861-0940. Church located 1299 15th Avenue Southwest in Childersburg. Lori, thanks for coming by this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Got more Daybreak just ahead as we continue on this Monday morning.